Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who watched my last video and got involved in the comments section, thank you very much. It makes such a big difference to me to be able to hear from you, to be able to interact with you, because as many of you know, this channel is just my self-exploration, understanding my country of birth, Singapore, all the more clearly, hopefully, considering what things impact our culture, things that make us the way that we are. And today, I wanted to first put out a big congratulations because we have made it, Singapore, the third happiest city in the world, according to the Happy City Index. Now, interestingly, looking at the report on Mothership, I had the opportunity to read through some of the comments below, which just blew my mind because so many people in Singapore were so negative about us being ranked in the 3 happiest cities in the world. And it got me thinking, thinking in a few different directions that I want to share with you today. The first is this: the Happy City Index uses a number of different markers to be able to claim who's the happiest city. It looks at the economy, it looks at environment, it looks at overall health of its citizens and the ease of mobility. It looks at governance and it looks at the citizens themselves, and it was just fascinating to see how many local people were so negative about Singapore as a city, as a place that they could call home. And if you've looked at any of my content on this channel or on our main channel Wonderlust, you will know that I'm very positive about this place I get to call home, this place there where I was born, a place there where my heritage is, and a place where I get to live now, and I'm very grateful for it. And so it blows my mind when I see people so negative about Singapore, especially when you look at the reports from other nations and you see the way they talk about Singapore with such respect and honour, and they see such wonderful things that happen in our city. Now, I know that the skeptics among us will probably just say that's what we project and what people outside looking in might see, and that it's always different here, but actually looking at those markers, we've got life pretty good, and it's very easy to be negative about things that you've got comfortable with. Sorry to say it for those of you who are offended, and I'm sure some of you will let me know why I'm completely wrong in the comments below, and I'm okay with that. That's why I'm here. I want to hear from you. I want to get the authentic Singaporean opinion come through my channel. Another thing that got me thinking about was this. I was recently in Sabah in eastern Malaysia, the Borneo Malaysia bit. For those of you who don't know it, Borneo is owned by 3 different countries. One of them is Malaysia, and I was in the Malaysian bit of it, and I was there and I asked a local person, why is it that the people here seem so different to the people in Western Malaysia, the Malaysia that's closest to Singapore? And they gave me an incredibly profound answer that provoked a lot of thought in my mind. And it was this. They said the people in Western Malaysia have money, and so they rely on themselves. Whereas people in Borneo, we don't have anything, and so we rely on each other. And so we're much kinder, we're much warmer towards one another because we have a reliance on each other. Whereas the people there don't need to be kind because they can get everything themselves. And it got me thinking about Singapore because the economy's better and people generally earn more money here, and it made me wonder, all these influencers who come over to Singapore and tell the world how unfriendly and rude and not very kind Singaporeans are, is it because they've met people who have earned enough money to not have to rely on anybody else? And it's made me think about that whole thing and wonder what it is that people have seen that makes them think that Singaporeans are not kind. I've talked about it and I've addressed it a little bit in the past, and I definitely think there's a language side to things. It's much easier to just say the simple stuff. I mean, I had this interaction the other day. I'll just share it with you. I was at a local kopitiam and I was going to get my coffee, and I said, "Kopi si kosong, please." And they heard the please very, very muffled. Maybe that was my own fault. And they heard ping, and they gave me an iced coffee when I actually wanted a hot coffee. And it just got me thinking, maybe they don't expect the please to come through because we're so good at just saying very directly, this is what I want, done. Kopi si kosong. That's it, you don't have to say anything else. They know what you want. Singaporeans are direct and to the point. And I know there's lots of different opinions around that. I had a lot of comments and I'm grateful for them. Some felt that we needed to be more polite, that it costs us nothing to say please and thank you more regularly. It doesn't cost us anything to say please may I have, or would it be okay if, you know, these things that are not necessary but add to the friendliness of a conversation or an interaction. I agree actually, and I still try to do that, but today I was having lunch with my cousins and one of my cousins' wife said to me, oh wow, you're really becoming local. I think what I said to her was, can? Like just a normal can, right? But I'm thinking now actually in the UK I would not have just phrased it like this. So, oh sure, that sounds like we could do that, or whatever it might have been, you know. And so I'm definitely changing into that more shorter, more to the point Singaporean style of talking, and I just don't think it's rude. So that's that side of thing to one side. We've talked about it. You can check it out in a previous video if that's what you want to do. But I am considering this whole idea of, are Singaporeans too rich to be kind? I genuinely think the answer is no. And my backing of it, I just want to ask the question. The reason why I say I genuinely think the answer is no is because we've experienced so much kindness from Singaporeans over the last 5 years of being here, particularly an overwhelming amount of kindness since we've lived here in an HDB apartment environment, community if you like, over the last 5-6 weeks, and it has been wonderfully kind and very thoughtful. Actually, one of our neighbours the other day, I just want to tell you about this because it was just a beautiful interaction. We had some friends come over. We don't really drink very much wine or anything like that. It's not part of our lifestyle, but we don't mind a glass every now and again. And a friend brought over a bottle of wine. We went to go to the cupboards to get the corkscrew, and it turns out somewhere in the move we have lost a corkscrew. And so we knocked on a neighbour's door, a neighbour who's been super friendly to us in the last month, and we thought, okay, she might be able to lend us something that would be really helpful. And so we asked her. She went off to a kitchen and she came back. She said, I'm really sorry, I don't have a corkscrew, but what I do have is this. And she presented us with a bottle of wine that had a screw top on it, and we were just blown away by her thoughtfulness, her kindness, her willingness to be a very kind and loving neighbour. And we have to repay her. We can't wait to get her over and have her over for dinner because she's just lovely, and repay that kindness. And I think, yeah, like I said, I don't think Singaporeans are too rich to be kind, but maybe I'm wondering about the different communities, the different pockets of life that we live in. And I just wonder, all of those influencers who have made really negative comments about Singaporeans, have they been in touristy areas where people maybe are earning more, or maybe have less time for other people, and so, or more self-reliant perhaps in some of the more wealthy areas, more towards the city? And I don't know if I'm making presumptions. I know that it can be a risky thing to do, but I feel comfortable doing it on this channel. I know that you will set me straight, you will let me know if I'm right or whether I'm wrong, and so I just wanted to ask you the question, are Singaporeans too rude to be kind? It's a really interesting thought, and it's a challenge for me because obviously there's a sense of independence. We want to be able to be self-reliant and not have to be a burden on anybody else. But I wonder whether that self-reliance does mean that I end up thinking to myself, oh, I can do life without friends, or I can do life without other people. And I think it's really important to embrace the challenge, to take it on, and to do our very best to connect with friends, to be friendly to everybody, to be thoughtful to one another, and maybe in as humble a way as we can, just like our neighbour there, offer the overflow of what we have to help out one another and just have a much kinder, a much friendlier place to live. Let me know your thoughts. I love these topics. I love considering them. I love reading all your comments. And yeah, third happiest city in the world. I wonder if you've taken a moment to consider how fortunate we are and take a moment to be grateful for this beautiful city that we get to live in. I definitely have. It's making me smile, helping me to enjoy life. And yeah, as always, comment, subscribe, like, help me out a little bit trying to get this channel going. I'm doing my best to put out content more regularly for you, and yeah, I love to interact with you more, and we'll catch you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.